And of course, with our other coalition partners in united opposition, we think we can be the anchor party, like ODM was always. You know, in Azimio, we had ODM and Raila, and there was Wiper, the Democratic Movement that time. We had others like DAP, we had Jubilee, we had others. So we think we are able to move into that space.
You've mentioned about the united opposition, but there are those who are questioning how united is the united opposition?
We are united. I think what is uniting us is not the personalities. It is the reality of the Kenyan citizen who is craving for change, who has their kids abducted by this regime, who have witnessed extrajudicial killings, and who are feeling the economic hardship. So these are those ideals that unite us are stronger than the personalities. So I believe that if any of us believes that this country is suffering and this country needs change, then such a one can be truly a member of united opposition. And I see this growing. Hitherto we have had of the famous names, of course, Wamonyoro, ourselves, Jubilee and Uhuru now, which is Uhuru had to reclaim his Jubilee from Ruto. Ruto had expropriated it, thinking it belongs to him. Then we have Eugene Wamala's DAP together with Governor Natembea. But I think now into the new year, I personally want to call on the progressive forces in ODM to also come, because we have never officially wound up Azimio. Okay? If you believed in the change that our friend Raila Odinga worked for, then you can't go and work with William Ruto, who all the time was calling him Mganga, sijui mtu wa michezo sijui nini. Now, you cannot go that way. And I like the fact that the Raila Odinga family is holding on. I was very impressed when I saw our daughter Winnie take a firm position. They are progressive forces who I want to invite to join the united opposition. And if we do, we will make William Ruto's presidency one term. And there's not anything to be afraid of. It is just that is a reality of the Kenyan situation. If you cannot deliver, if you come up and say, we are going to make Kenya Singapore just overnight. I've seen today a cartoon in one of the papers. It's one on the one side they're saying Singapore, and another one Singapore. Okay, so you have to be realistic. It is an attempt to create another narrative like hustler, 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 and then you capture people's minds. Hustler versus dynasty. Now he thinks by creating this narrative about Singapore, people will buy into that. No. Kenyans are wiser, and no sloganeering is going to make William Ruto two terms. If these elections are held now, we rebrand. Because we caught the Gen Z spirit. And before then, we were Wiper Democratic Movement, but we had consultations right across the board, membership of the party. As you know, Wiper is Patriotic Front is a parliamentary party. We have close to 30 members of parliament, and I can now see from since we rebranded, because we didn't also make it so hitherto people are thinking this is a regional party, Kamba party, but now they've realized patriotism is countrywide. So, and again, it captures the aspirations of the young Kenyans, the Gen Zs. So when we were rebranding, we wanted that oomph, the party to prepare itself to take the leadership of the country. You cannot take the leadership of the country if you are perceived to be a regional party. So that is what has happened. And when we had on the 10th of October this year, the Delegates Congress, I think the country took note. The country, we painted the Uhuru Park royal blue, literally. And people had forgotten about Uhuru Park. People used to think it was only our late brother Raila who could feel Uhuru Park. They were shocked. And so we are gearing to go. And today, these Wiper women patriots have surprised me because they are having some pre-birthday event,
yeah.
and you see them, they are branded royal blue. I think this party is really going to move. Nothing, no sloganeering is going to make William Ruto 2 terms.
Okay.
If these elections are held now, he knows he'll be 1 term. So, and again, it has happened elsewhere in the African continent, where people inspired by the Kenyan Gen Z spirit. See what happened in Bangladesh.
Yeah.
See what has happened recently in Malawi.
Yeah.
See what is happening even in Ghana
Tanzania.
and places, the African continent. And of course, more recently, in Tanzania. And because nobody would have expected Tanzania would just blow up. All right?
Yeah.
So that spirit of real change is, I think, what is going to unite us more. And of course, we are hoping before the year gets underway, I personally think within the first quarter, we should have agreed on who is a flag bearer. Because again, Kenyans want certainty to be able to plan and to make sure that William Ruto will not rig the coming election. Of course, I hope that I'm that flag bearer. If I am, I want to assure my colleagues in United Opposition we will hold together. But of course, having said that, Sarah, it is never easy to build a coalition.
Yeah.
And so we know there'll be obstacles to overcome, there'll be attitudes to overcome, there'll be egos to overcome. All right? And I personally am a good example. Who would have thought I was going to support Raila Odinga 3 times? That is 15 political years.
Yeah.
Sizable chunk of my own life. Okay?
Yeah.
But I had to do that. I had to really reflect. I had to consult. And so you do that for the sake of the country.
Talking of the united opposition, there are those who are arguing that you have no agenda, you have no remedies for this country. Your only solution, or you coming together, is just to send President Ruto home. Once you've sent him home, what's next?
Of course, it is William Ruto himself who keeps on saying we have no agenda. We have a very solid agenda. Of course, we continue to refine it. First of all, we have to work for a unity of purpose. And as we do so, you had even tell you, the most critical thing is to uphold the Constitution, which William Ruto has failed to do. And putting this country under the rule of law is a major, major agenda. Getting this country back to the path of rule of law and implementation of Constitution 2010 itself is a major agenda. When we say that the health sector has failed, we have to redo it. I personally believe that universal health care is the right of every citizen, okay?
Yeah.
But today, we have even seen Kenyatta Hospital itself is having a big problem, because William Ruto's administration decided payment must always go into some common thing where some commissions are paid, and in the process, you have had over 500 patients at Kenyatta National Hospital are waiting to have some lab tests done, and of course becomes a death hospital. That's why the headline in one of the papers is a hospital which is really experiencing incredible challenge.
Yeah.
So healthcare is critical for us. Education system is again messed up. And when we say education is an agenda, we made it an agenda with Kibaki when we went for free primary and compulsory education. By now, we should have been having free secondary education. That is a very important agenda for us. Yeah? And of course, make university education also accessible. Because right now, the funding model under William Ruto's administration is confused. There are lots of parents, Kenyan students, who have qualified to go to university, and they can't access university education. The right to education is an Article 43. Article 43 right, just like the right to health care and all this. So we getting this country to be under the rule of law. Remember, when Kenyans say we the people, all sovereignty, all power belongs to the people. We want to give power to the people. All right?
Yeah.
We will not allow a situation where William Ruto is selling our state corporations, okay? Selling them at a song like Safaricom and even KICC and it's a chopping block AFC, ADB, including Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Airports Authority, the whole of Jomo Kenyatta Airport, which we stopped him from doing, okay? And you know, his plan is to sell all those and put it into some, what he calls 5 trillion shilling account, ring fencing it. We don't know how he can ring fence it, when his Minister for Finance is now saying, because afraid of elections in 2027, they know they cannot afford to raise taxes. The Gen Zs will be on their case. So they are looking for ways of sealing the loopholes, but they don't know how. That is a major agenda, to make sure that the taxation regime in our country is predictable. That way, I'll tell you how we will make Kenya Singapore. I'll tell William Ruto how we'll make Kenya Singapore. We will make sure that companies who want to invest in Kenya find a tax regime which is predictable and which will enable them to make profits. And so by so doing, they will be able to employ our youths. Kenyan youths are unemployed. And the problem is, we had this when we were dealing with the national dialogue, the NADCO report. Over 6,000 companies fled Kenya to Tanzania and Uganda. How do you make then Kenya Singapore when nobody, unless you improve our manufacturing sector? I want to challenge William Ruto. What products are manufactured now? People are fleeing because of high taxation to other destinations. We will make it the opposite. People will flee into Kenya in order to set up manufacturing companies and then create job opportunities for our children. So we have a very solid agenda, and we'll continue to talk more. But of course, all of that, Kenya, a lot of Kenyans are also saying, hey, musiongee maneno tumeyasikia tena before. Like I used to talk about 24-hour working economy. Kenyans must remember, I'm not running for president for the first time. This will be my second term, and hopefully hit it on the nail. We talked about 24-hour economy. What I had in mind was some companies working, watu wanafanya kazi mchana, wengine wanafanya usiku, 24-hour economy. We tried a bit of that with Kibaki, all right? So because if you go to Dubai today, you see the example of a 24-hour economy. That international airport in Dubai, it's like you think it's daytime anytime. So that's the kind of thing we want to do. We must stop playing around with minds of Kenyans, pretending you can make Kenya Singapore in 1 year, okay? So, and I think he went and took a photo of the traffic, maybe man-made traffic down the escarpment when he was going to do the goat auction in Kimale Primary School. Kusema chukweni for the last time. We will hold Ruto responsible. Even within a year, that traffic is still there. All right? But of course, we have to make this country.